Hi everyone, this is Galen. Today I'm showing another card set. This one is a holiday card set and it is using dies and an embossing folder. And so I'm going to show how I layered and made these festive cards using cardstock, die cuts, and an embossing folder and some adhesive, and to make really sweet set of cards all in. You can do this all together once you have all your supplies out. Now I'm using supplies by Spellbinders, primarily All About Christmas by Lisa Horton, and also Texture and Foliage collection by Suzanne Hugh. And so what I have is really sweet elements I have for both of these cards. It includes frames and elements on the frame dies, and also an embossing folder and a striped dies, almost like a smaller cover die. It's wonderful. And this is the linen embossing folder. Linen, I believe, is the name of it. It's in this collection. I believe that is from Textured and Foliage collection. The Mary dies layer nicely, and they have some clear stamps in there. So I went ahead and pre-die cut, pre-stamped, and I added foam adhesive, a narrow foam adhesive, to the flowers and the sentiment just to pop them up a little bit. But I kept the background layers flat with flat double-sided tape. And so I just adhered the layers together. I used colored cardstock for the first card. And so that one is going to be Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and I'm just layering the frames, and I pre-assembled all of these beautiful flowers, foliage for Christmas, and I die cut them in white, and I ink blended the color right onto that using dye inks. So that's how I got the color. For this card, I chose, instead of die cutting the flower with color cardstock, which that is a great option, I went ahead and ink blended them. And so now I'm just, peeling away the adhesive that I pre-placed on all of these elements, getting them ready to assemble. So these are the kind of things you can do while you're watching TV, you add your adhesive and do all those things. And when you get everything all together and assembled, all your little die cuts assembled, you can just have them all ready to go on your card bases and just layer the elements for each card. And the adding of all of it is pretty easy. It's a little time consuming putting all the die cuts together, but it sure is pretty when you get it finished. And so I added an extra bit of glue behind some of these wispy, leafy, and floral parts that might come separated from the flower, so I didn't want that to happen. So I just added a little bit of the glue. I'm using Barely Art glue, and I just make sure that's dry and flat, ready for mailing. And so that is the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas card. I love that. I love the saying. And also, this is a wonderful little cover die. Now, a lot of these elements can be used for anything other than Christmas also. So you don't have to stick with Christmas. I can use this year round for lots of different occasions, birthdays, celebrations, all kinds of occasions. And I like that these stripes, I chose to make the stripes white and the background teal. You can make mixed media background and include a colorful, striped cover. This, the sky's the limit of what you can do with the dies. I really like it. I'm going to use it again. And so now on the stripes, I carefully added some glue using the Barely Art glue again, and I lightly added it. I didn't want a lot of splotchiness, so I like glue for this kind of thing because you can move it around. It gives you a little wiggle room before it becomes permanently affixed on there. And sometimes you do need to move it around a little bit, especially when the base die and the top die are almost the same size. You want to be able to move it around. If you use flat double-sided tape or foam tape, it's going to be on there pretty good. So it's not going to be easy to move. So I just alternate the different adhesives that I use. And I use the ATG to just put the flat double-sided tape on the back of that layered panel. Now, this card, I also pre-assembled all the decorations and flowers, and there's a sweet bow and bell and the sentiments. And I pre-assembled all of those, die cut them, and layered them, and added the adhesive on the back. And now I'm ready to use this particular set on this card and add all the beautiful elements to the card base and the card front. And again, I'm just reinforcing those little whimsical elements there to make sure they don't come apart in shipping or mailing. I just like it to stay together. If you're not mailing it, you can leave them wispy like that. It looks pretty. It actually pops up a little bit if you want to leave it like that. Just be careful putting it in the envelope and taking it out of the envelope. And so that is a tip for this card. And again, I use very little, just a tiny little dab of glue. That's all you need for this glue. And it holds right in place nice. So it looks like a flat card, but it does, if you feel it, it has a little texture, but it will still go through the mail nicely. I choose not to get really thick foam tape. I've been using really thin foam tape. Gives it texture, but it's safer for mailing. And also it keeps the weight down for your card. So, so that maybe you only have to use one postage stamp for mailing. And this is really sweet. I decided to use the bow on the top and have a little piece of cording or twine holding the bell. It has a little hole you can put twine through. And I decided to use the bow at the top and the bell hanging from it. It's really sweet. So I put a little piece of foam tape behind the bell to fix that. And I used treasured cardstock and gold shimmer for the bell, just to give it a little touch of shimmer and shine. And that's the card there for this one. This one, it says Merry and Bright. So these are really nice holiday greetings. You can switch out the elements to put on top of these cards for any occasion. And I just chose the Christmas ones. I like to get Christmas cards done ahead of time. So I hope you like this and give it a try. I'd love if you shared it to tag me on socials. I would love to see what you make with it. I hope you enjoy it. And you guys have a really nice day. Bye-bye now.